Hi, it's Leah Marie here, and I am very glad to join you after I just did this amazing meditation. I received notification of 1 million people that were being called to meditate to eradicate coronavirus and focusing on moving us into an energy that is going to bring more joy, peace, and love and harmony. You know, I really feel that we have that power within. We just have to tap into it. Today is a little bit less practical than what I've been sharing over the last week. I've been teaching a lot about different techniques for lowering anxiety and lowering stress. And, you know, they've all been scientifically proven and that sort of thing. Today's going to be a little bit more about the creative side of things, the more faith-based side of things. So if that's not your cup of tea, I don't recommend shutting down, because it might open you up, especially at this time, to explore this route. I'm not going to get really crazy, but I'm going to share some things that might be different for you, and it's okay. Just accept the experience as it is right now, because it's being presented to you for a reason. I mean, is really what's happening here across the board with the whole coronavirus, is that we're being called to do different things. We're called to do things extremely differently than we have been. And we're seeing the effects. We're seeing that because we're pulling away from the industry and, manufacturing and all of that, our environment is actually shifting. We're seeing the ecology of our planet improving. So that's a lesson right there. And then, the fact that we're having to spend some time alone and get to know ourselves again, that's pretty important. It's not really something that we're allowed to do typically. So on the weekend, especially if you're somebody who works at home, and you're not, like I used to work in assisted living, and it was like every day of the week we had to be on. So I know that's probably still true for a lot of people, but a lot of folks in different positions are probably having a little bit more time to themselves and in their home environment, obviously. So I wanted to talk about a few things today, like I said, but I want to start off our session with the great invocation, the Holy Grail vortex. I want to just read it correctly. It was given to the United Nations as a prayer for world peace. And as you state each of the stances, you visualize vortexes spinning from your heart and mind, forming over the focus of the prayer. And have it be in your city, your home, any war zones, any hospital. I mean, this was kind of looking towards problems with assisting with prayer for peace, but right now we need prayer for every human on the planet. So I'm gonna state the prayer, and if we all just want to tune into that energy of sending light, like healing light, whatever comes to mind for you for healing. Some people feel it's green light. Some people feel that it's white light representing divine love, or it can be pink light representing love as well. Just envision that. And I'm going to envision the white light, divine love, coming in from God. So here's the prayer. The great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of humans. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of humans. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of humans, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. And so that plan was not for us to, have hate and strife and anger and all those things that are negatively affecting one another. Our plan on earth was more to see what we can create from a standpoint of love and harmony. And I just envision every day in my meditation this planet that's like growing and breathing and healthy, and that it feeds us all of our resources that we need to sustain, and that we're honoring each other, exploring our talents, because there's these untapped areas of our brains that are there. And it's, if you ever saw the movie Lucy with Scarlett Johansson, it kind of is a little intimidating when you look at when she was able to use her full brain capacity. But I feel that if we were able to tap into a portion of it, because right now we're using such a small percentage of our brain power, that we could actually get to the point where we would just be almost like computers. And I don't want to get there, but I do want to get to the point where we can do a lot of fun things, which is influence our environment, and bring in the law of attraction, bring into these different experiences instant peace, like the meditation I was just involved in with the 1 million meditators across the globe. The intention was to eradicate the virus completely and bring peace, restore harmony and joy to every being on earth, and restoring the planet and that sort of thing. And so we used our minds in a meditative way. And yesterday I explained meditation, that it's basically a frequency that we get into, and everyone is capable of it. Our brains are capable of achieving this frequency very simply by just getting quiet, focusing on the breath, focusing on something positive, is what you want to do. So I focused on eradicating coronavirus, sending it away with love, saying that we learned the lesson, and we honor it, and let's move forward to a better, healthier planet and life for all living things. So with that being said, I'm going to jump into a couple things I wanted to share with you today, because I want to keep us on track with time, our 20-minute time limit. But before I do, I just wanted to say something about thoughts that I've been having come to me as I meditate. I've been thinking a lot about how this lesson has come about, and that we need to really be grateful for everything we have. And I mean, I know that that's pretty obvious, but all of those people that are working so hard round the clock, people are flying in from everywhere to assist, even though they know it's a dangerous experience for them. These healthcare workers, I am so grateful for them, and their knowledge and their expertise. And when I talk about these healing practices, I'm not saying that that just needs to go away and we work on healing, because obviously we need to still do the practical things that we need to. And I understand that completely, because I tried to just heal myself a number of years ago from something called babesia, a tick-borne illness. I didn't even realize what it was at the time, but I didn't feel well for about 3 months. And then I ended up in the ER. So I'm not saying that we do not need medical and modern medicine the way it is today, but I am saying there is a power within us that maybe at some point we will be our own healers. We will be able to heal ourselves, and others that need assistance will still need assistance. But some of us may be able to tap into that reserve and be able to heal ourselves. And we're not fully there yet. Some people may already be there, but I'm not one of them yet. And I'm sure there's a lot of us that would love to learn how. So today, I have some fun things I wanted to do. I just dropped a bunch of my cards. But I have an idea for everybody to do on the weekend, and you can have your children and everything do it. And that is a vision board. Let's all do a vision board that we can look at every day let's get creative and get into your magazines and focus on what we want to achieve this year, 2020. Let's not make this. I've heard this so many times. I want to just fast forward through 2020. Let's not fast forward through 2020. Let's be present with 2020. Let's be in a space where we are loving ourselves and envisioning what our futures will be. So the vision board's a lot of fun. You can grab a bunch of magazines and go through them and cut out different things that will be resonating with you and where you want to take your life. And this is like an opportunity for reset. I know there's so many people and families affected by this coronavirus, but you know, if we're in a space where we are just sitting here thinking about the death and devastation that's happening, that's not going to help us. And, you know, I find it interesting when we're talking about energy and frequency. We really need to make sure, in order to help all of those that are sick and are in dire straits, we need to make sure we're taking care of ourselves and being in a positive, uplifted frequency. Even if we're stuck at home, we need to do that, because frequency is so important. The power of our personal vibration is so important. That's a book by Penny Pierce, and she talks about frequency in here and exploring the dynamics of energy, personal resonance, and accelerating ultrasonictivity to discover how a simple shift in frequency is often all it takes to change depression to peace, fear to enthusiasm, and any situations to magical results. So that's where we need to be. We need to, as a species, bring our vibration up. How do you do that? You meditate, you focus on positive thoughts, you do your vision board, people, the vision board, which is, it can be so much fun. Like, this is one I did years ago, and so I need a new one because I've been thinking about it. I haven't done one in quite a while. You can write a journal. You know, journaling is so important right now too. I think there's just so much time for us in this moment to explore those kinds of activities that maybe we kept putting off. Maybe we thought that's not for us, but honestly, it really is for all of us. We can touch and tap into our creative side. I would like to share with everyone a couple cards. And if you're not into that, that's okay. You can just listen to the messages. The messages are really cool. You know, they're very interesting messages that are in these cards, and they're very inspirational. And I couldn't find my glasses, so I'm going to do the best I can to read the cards and the messages. But, you know, I think that looking at Archangel Raphael would be very important right now. He's the Archangel of Healing, and he's saying that you should call on him for help. We have these angels available to us at all times. So if you are feeling worn down, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling, you know, any sadness, if you're feeling sick, if you have the coronavirus, envision yourself in green light, enveloped in green light of being sent to you by Archangel Raphael. And it can, you know, permeate your being. It can get into your cells. It can surround you, and you can put it through the hospitals. You can send Archangel Raphael's light to others too. So here's the request from Archangel Raphael. And I mean, you can simply state it, or you can state it like this. Dear Archangel Raphael, I ask for your healing help. And you know, it says in parentheses, describe your situation. So, dear Archangel Raphael, I ask for your healing help with this coronavirus, this COVID-19 situation, and all the folks that are affected by it in any way, shape, or form, whether you're directly affected, whether you're affected, you know, just from the experience of being part of humanity and knowing about it, whether you've lost someone to it, whether you are a victim of having this. You know, let's shift from victimhood to being a survivor and then moving towards thriving again. So thank you for your divine healing intervention, Archangel Raphael. So that's the card of Archangel Raphael from one of the decks from Doreen Virtue, an older deck. so helpful, so healing. That's a healing thought to have, that we have that kind of support. And I will tell you that, you know, years ago, I had a friend who had cancer and she did die. Back in the 90s, I worked with this woman, and it was really interesting during her last consequence of having cancer and the fight she was going through, that she became so in tune with the angels. That was like her saving point. That was what she turned to. She had angels surrounding her, pictures of angels and different things that were surrounding her in her office space. And I asked her about it. I wasn't familiar really with the whole angel healing thing back then. And, you know, she explained it to me, and I always thought, okay, that's interesting, but I didn't really tap into it until later on. And that was after my near-death experience, when I started to work with the angels. And they're so powerful. I mean, honestly, I've had so many experiences. I know that a lot of people in hospice that work in hospice would understand what I'm saying right now to be true, but a lot of people that have not been in that line of work, you know, experiencing this kind of thing is kind of uncomfortable for them. But I will tell you that in hospice, it's quite frequent that, you know, the families are advised to ask the angels to help, or letting the person that is hanging on know that it's okay to go with the angels. So, you know, this is something that is in our medical field as well. Not every hospice might embrace that, but I do know of some hospice agencies that I've worked with that do embrace it, and they embrace Reiki and that sort of thing. And even Mass General has some Reiki masters on board. And I've had experiences. I can remember a patient that I was transporting to go to another part of a building. And I felt it was okay. I'm a Reiki master, and I felt it was okay to give her Reiki, even though I didn't have her permission. She was dying of cancer, and she was only, you know, 2 days away actually from dying, as I found out later on. But I gave her Reiki, and when I came around her wheelchair to be in front of her, she was saying to me that the light around me was so beautiful, that, and she kept saying it over and over again. And I didn't tell her what was happening because I didn't want to scare her. But, you know, I just said that, you know, that it must be the angels with us. And she smiled and said, yes, it must be. So I brought her back to her room with her in her wheelchair. And I got phone calls. I was in an assisted living facility at the time. I got phone calls from her over the next day asking me if I could come by and just spend time with her, because she really felt something special when I was with her. So I went and I spent time with her, and I explained to her that there was an energy that I worked with, and it was called Reiki energy, and that I also asked the angels to come in and help assist her. And you know, I think, I don't know for sure, but I think it may have helped her peacefully transition. So the angels are always there, and they're there to save too. It's not like they're just there to transition. They are there to save. I had a baby chick just 3 days ago now. I received a delivery of baby chicks, and one of the baby chicks wasn't well, and I tried everything to save this baby chick. And it was struggling. I could tell it was very near the end. And I was just like, you know, holding it and praying for this poor little soul to not experience the pain and suffering any longer. And I put it down in a box, and I asked the angels to take care of this baby and this little baby chick, and bring the baby chick out of the suffering state into the light. And I just walked out of the room, and I came back, and the baby chick was gone. Now, I had been sitting with that baby chick trying to do everything for a few hours. And you know, that just is it overwhelms me every time that something like that is shown to me. It's like, yes, they are around, they are listening, they do care. The angels are there for all of us. So I'm going to pull another card for us, and let me see what I'm going to pull from. Oh, Archangel Michael, he's so important to all of us. Such a powerful angel, archangel. He is the angel who is most like God. So Archangel Michael will fight for us. He will protect us. He is guiding us to our life purpose. Archangel Michael is so important. So I always just ask the cards to fall out. I don't want to be in control of it. I asked for the cards to fall out while I shuffle. And I got, God is in charge. God is in charge. Yeah. Dear God, please help me let go of this situation of coronavirus, I'm going to add. Giving it in faith and trust to your divine wisdom and infinite love in order to resolve and heal everything and everyone involved. In this message, it's really appropriate at this time. I feel like crying. That's such a beautiful card, isn't it? I mean, I'm sorry, I get emotional about this when I get these kinds of messages. So yes, God is in charge. Dear God, I'm going to read it one more time so you can hear it. Dear God, please help me let go of the situation, giving it in faith and trust to your divine wisdom and infinite love in order to resolve and heal everything and everyone involved. And we are all involved. We are all involved in this situation. So it involves every single person on this earth. And, you know, God is there for us, obviously. I mean, I just shuffled this deck and that fell out. I mean, people will say to me when I say, oh, how powerful this is, you know, they'll say, well, every card's positive. But let me look. I'll just read another one that might not have anything to do with it. Your home is protected by angels. Archangel Michael, thank you for watching over my home and its inhabitants. I ask that you post guardian angels at each window and door and ensuring its security. Thank you for guiding my finances so that I can easily afford to pay my rent, mortgage, and taxes. So that's an important one too, that card there. Protecting our homes. Right now, and our finances, we're struggling with that. Here's another good one. Focus upon divine and perfect health. So I think Archangel Michael wants us to hear these specific cards right now because they are so pertinent. So God and Archangel Michael, thank you for continuously reminding me to focus. Excuse me, let me start that one over. God and Archangel Michael, thank you for continuously reminding me to focus upon perfect health and for guiding my actions so that they support my well-being. That's very true. We need to rely on that. Take your time making this decision. Archangel Michael, please help me stay strong and relaxed as I approach the situation. Remind me to detach and step back, allowing the situation to naturally unfold. Thank you for protecting me. This is saying that Archangel Michael really wants to speak to us and help us heal. So those are really great cards to have pop up. Okay, so cards, the vision board, focusing on prayer and healing thoughts and your faith at this time, so important. There's also some different things that you can do, and I've got a lot of information, but I can't do it all in one session. Crystals have power of, you know, different energy associated with it. I have this crystal kyanite that I've been meditating with quite frequently to manifest. It's a manifestation stone, and the Book of Stones is very helpful. It helps us understand the energy that is associated with crystals. So that's a wonderful book. Now, I'll be back to some practical stuff on Monday. Tomorrow, I will not be on doing my live coaching. I will be back to practical on Monday, where I will be showing different things that are associated with Ayurveda. Ayurveda is the world's oldest healing system, and it encompasses all mind, body, spiritual aspects and bringing them into balance. So I am a Chopra certified instructor. I studied under Deepak and 5 other doctors that also are MDs and Ayurvedic specialists. So I am honored to be taking this space and time in your schedule every day. Hopefully, you know, if you don't get to tap in at 11:30 to 11:50, you're watching the recording at your convenience, and share it. You know, I really want to get this out. I'm putting it on YouTube, my Facebook. I just want people to understand that there's other ways to look at the situation, and there's also a power within all of us that we haven't tapped into quite right yet, or this wouldn't even be in our reality, the coronavirus. And with that being said, namaste. Have a wonderful Sunday. God bless, and may you be safe and healthy.